Good afternoon, 8th graders. This is our video on using slopes and intercepts to graph linear equations. It's kind of a follow-up to what we did today, and we're going to start off with a bit of review. This is page 43, so let's go ahead and write that in the bottom right. And then we're going to first off talk about intercepts. So our x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis, and this is pretty much exactly the same, the y-intercept, so that means the same except for its y-axis. And for y-intercept, the value of x is 0. For the x-intercept, the value of y is 0. Should all be reviewed. So for this equation we got here, it says find the x-intercept and y-intercept. So since we know the x-intercept up here, the value of y is 0, we make, what I said x-intercept, so we make y 0. To find the x-intercept, we make y 0. Everything else stays the same. So 3 times 0. So instead of writing y, I write 0. Put it in parentheses, think of multiplication. So 2x equals 6, x equals 3. So that means our y-intercept is 3. We could also write it as a coordinate point as 3, 0. Then we do the same thing to find the y-intercept. We make x 0. So 2, and then instead of writing x, I put parentheses 0 plus 3y equals 6. This becomes nothing, and then we divide by 3. So y equals 2, and our point is 0, 2. Then we've got 2 points that we can use to make this graph, and it's pretty simple from there. So draw our graph, use our graphing lines. It's a lot easier than drawing little dashes. 0, 2, y-intercept, 0, 3, x-intercept. That's our line, and that's it. Pretty simple. All right. Now we also have our slope-intercept form. Remember, these are always going to be numbers. So b and m will always be numbers when you see the equation. And this is going to be your slope, the m value, and this is going to be your y-intercept. And it has to be in this form. So y has to be alone over here. Say I put a 3 here. That would not make this work. So then you cannot think about m and b. It has to only be y. So I'm going to delete that. It has to just be y, and then it has to be the term with x, and then plus some constant. Then you have slope-intercept. Go ahead and turn over. So what we're going to do here is let's actually make these be in y-intercept form or slope-intercept form. So for instance, right now we don't even have the m. So let's think about what would go in the place of m. What would be right to the left of the x? The value 1. We don't have a b, so that means there's nothing there, so plus 0. That might help us graph it a little easier. Our m, or the slope, is 1. And let's go and write it as a fraction. So 1 over 1. And then b is 0. Now over here, you see how it's actually not in y equals form. We need to make it be that way. So what we have to do is solve for y. In other words, isolate it. So I've got 3y here. I need to get it alone. So I get rid of the 3 by dividing. Divide. And now I want to put the y on the left side. So I'm going to just turn these around to the opposite sides. Y equals 7/3 x. And I want there to be a plus b. And since there's nothing here, it's just plus 0. So we're having to do a bit of algebra solving for y and then rearranging things. M, or the slope, is 7/3. And then our b is 0. All right, quick joke. Did you hear the one about the toilet? Oh, never mind. It's too dirty. I can't tell you. Get it? All right, back to math. Okay, same thing here. We need this to be in y slope-intercept form. So we need to solve for the y. That means we need to get the rest of this stuff away. Now the way we get 3 and the 2x away is start on the outside. We peel away the outside layer. So that's the plus 2x. So we do minus 2x. 6 and 2x are not like terms, so we can't put them together. The 3y comes down. Now, instead of putting the 6 first, we should put the minus 2x first because it needs to be an mx plus b. We want the term with the x to be our first term on the right side. So we do minus 2x because the minus sign is with the 2x. And then this is a positive 6, so we write it as a positive 6. Now this next part's kind of tricky. We want to get rid of the 3, so we divide by 3. Now on this side, we actually divide every single term by 3. Not just this guy, but also that guy. This is really important, so make sure you key in on this. We divide every single part of the right side by the 3. We can keep this as a fraction, minus 2/3 x, and then this can actually be divided, plus 2. So that means our m is minus 2/3, and our b is 2. And then we could graph it from there. Remember, you graph b first, and then you use the slope to graph another point. And now we're going to bring it all together. So we're actually going to make this be in y-intercept form, and then we're going to graph. Okay, solve for y. Get y alone. I want to get rid of negative 4 and minus 8x. This is the first thing to get rid of. Make sure you bring down the minus on that 4. And then we want to put the 8x first. It's a positive 8x plus 8. We want this in mx plus b form, so x goes first, not the constant. Now we divide both sides by negative 4 because this is multiplying. It crosses out. And just like we did up top, we divide every single term by the negative 4. So y equals negative 2x, and I'll leave that as a fraction, negative 2 over 1. And then this is a negative 2, because 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. Now we're going to graph this. And just like we did in class today, you graph by doing first the y-intercept, and then using the y-intercept from that point, you graph using the slope. So this right here is my y-intercept, negative 2. So that's down here. My slope is negative 2 over 1. That means x goes forward 1, and y goes down 2. So that's my next point, and then that's my line. And that is it. All right, so now you're going to write this problem at the bottom. It's not going to be on your paper. Well, actually, no, this is on your paper. And then you're going to solve this one on your own. All right.